Oscar De La Hoya criticizes the fight's promotional tactics as Berlanga vows to prove his superiority in the ring against Canelo. Oscar De La Hoya predicts how the fight between Berlanga and Canelo will perform. He doesn't think it will do very well on September 14th. He mentions that the matchup itself is just okay, meaning it's not particularly exciting or special. But more importantly, he points out that the fight will be happening at the same time as a big UFC event. This UFC event is special because it's the debut event at the Sphere in Las Vegas, a venue that everyone has been eagerly waiting to see since it opened about a year ago. Because of this, De La Hoya believes that the UFC event will attract a lot more attention and overshadow the boxing match. Moreover, Oscar De La Hoya talks about his personal experience with Puerto Rican boxers. He starts by mentioning that he has been involved in some of the biggest fights against top fighters from Puerto Rico. He's not just talking about any fighters, but the very best the island has produced. He specifically brings up Felix Trinidad, who was one of the greatest boxers from Puerto Rico. De La Hoya says that he was up close and personal with Trinidad, meaning he fought against him and knows firsthand how good he was. Boxing promoter Oscar De La Hoya says pre-fight hype toughens fighters mentally, but blasts the Mexico versus Puerto Rico marketing as misleading, arguing that Berlanga, with his New York roots, doesn't truly represent Puerto Rico.
That takes me to Edgar Berlanga, who is fighting Canelo on September 14th. Now he claims he has a whole country behind him. Edgar, bro, you're from Brooklyn. I think I'm more Puerto Rican than you are, and I only lived there for 6 years.
Responding to Oscar De La Hoya, professional boxer Edgar Berlanga escalated the conversation on X. His tweet expressed frustration and accused De La Hoya of being hypocritical. Berlanga highlighted that De La Hoya had previously been very interested in signing him, a stark contrast to his more recent actions or statements. The tweet, filled with strong language and personal insults, underscores a deep-seated conflict between the two. During a press conference leading up to his fight with Canelo, Edgar Berlanga discusses how he differs from Canelo's past opponents, highlighting that his advantage lies not only in physical strength, but also in intelligence and ring IQ. He asserts that his strategic prowess will be crucial for victory on September 14th.
Like I said before, right? Everybody, he fought everybody. He fought Floyd, he fought Triple G, he's seen it all. He's seen size, he's seen short, he's seen speed, but what makes the difference about this fight is not about physical, it's about IQ and intelligence in that ring. And that's what's gonna make the difference of September 14th. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, we going with that right there. You feel me? And
Berlanga reflects on the intense face-off he had with Canelo, where both fighters were verbally challenging each other. Berlanga explains that during the exchange, Canelo told him, "You'll see," to which Berlanga responded, "No, you're going to see." Professional boxer Canelo Alvarez challenges Edgar Berlanga to prove his high ring IQ claim in their upcoming fight.
All right, let's turn things back over.
Stop
Caleb,
this cap,
Caleb, take it easy. I'm gonna take care of him for you. I promise you.
Caleb,
That's
shut
for
the
you, buddy.
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Buddy,
You
that's
lucky
for
you
you.
get smacked.
Go and shape
You
your
think he
beard.
have more IQ than you?
What you said? What?
Canelo,
What you said?
Canelo, when
Have an IQ, better IQ than me.
Okay, you're gonna see. You're gonna see
You will
September
see.
14th.
Replying to his IQ remarks, Berlanga highlights that this kind of exchange is a natural part of the sport, where fighters mentally prepare by asserting their dominance before stepping into the ring. He emphasizes that while the press conferences and face-offs are part of the build-up, the real seriousness lies in the fight itself. Berlanga underlines the life-or-death nature of boxing, pointing out that once they're in the ring, it's about survival. He conveys that the sport requires a gladiator mentality, where each fighter must be fully prepared to risk everything to come out on top. Canelo dismisses Berlanga, stating he is nothing compared to the previously fighter he has faced.
does he rank on that
He's
list?
nothing compared to them. Come on. You can ask me that kind of question.
Canelo points out that fighters like Floyd Mayweather and Gennady Golovkin are not only physically gifted, but are also renowned for their exceptional ring intelligence and experience. These are fighters who have tested him at the highest levels of boxing, and Canelo believes that Berlanga simply doesn't measure up to them in terms of skill, strategy, or mental sharpness. Canelo implies that Berlanga lacks the necessary experience and strategic depth to truly challenge him. He suggests that Berlanga's talk about ring IQ is unfounded, because Berlanga hasn't faced the kind of high-caliber opponents who would require him to demonstrate that level of intelligence in the ring. Canelo's final remarks in this segment are meant to underline his belief that when they face off, Berlanga will realize the vast difference in their levels of ring intelligence and experience. Berlanga responds to Canelo's dismissive comments about him not being on the same level as Canelo's previous opponents. Berlanga acknowledges that Canelo has faced many top fighters, including legends like Floyd Mayweather and Gennady Golovkin, but insists that what will make the difference in their fight is not just physical power, but his ring intelligence and IQ. Berlanga emphasizes that at this elite level, it's not only about who is stronger or faster, it's about who can outthink their opponent in the ring. He confidently asserts that he has the intelligence needed to compete with and even defeat Canelo. Berlanga dismisses the notion that he will end up like some of Canelo's previous opponents who have been knocked out or outclassed. He is determined not to make the same mistakes and vows to use his brains, not just brawn, to avoid the fate of those who came before him. Adding to debate, professional boxer Robert Garcia was surprised and amused by Canelo's unexpected behavior at the press conference, noting that it was unusual for the usually serious fighter and may have been a tactic to generate more interest in the fight.
It was funny. Yeah. It was funny. I didn't see that in Canelo. You know, fucking around, I eat all that shit. But it was fun. It was fun. You know, it caught people's attention because we don't expect that from Canelo. You know, he doesn't fuck around like that. Right. He's more of a serious person. But, you know, a little bit of that doesn't hurt. Fuck it, it's gonna sell the fight a little more.
Robert Garcia talks about the change in tone between the first and second press conferences involving Canelo. He mentions that the first press conference was very respectful, with both fighters being serious and professional. However, in the second press conference, Canelo's attitude changed. He became more aggressive, telling his opponent that he was going to knock him out. Garcia thinks that someone from Canelo's team might have advised him to be more vocal and intense to help sell the fight. He believes that Canelo's team wanted to create more excitement and draw attention by having Canelo show a more fiery side. This shift in behavior was likely planned to make the fight more appealing to the audience and to increase interest. Professional boxer Rolly Romero was surprised by Berlanga's claim of having more ring IQ than Canelo.
I got a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Are you guys in as much disbelief as I am that Berlanga claims to have more ring IQ than Canelo? Yeah, that's my only opinion on that. Other than that, oh, and also I'm very happy Canelo finally learned what a motherfucker is.
Rolly Romero talks about how Canelo Alvarez's personality changes when he speaks English. He points out that when Canelo switches from Spanish to English, he becomes much more aggressive and intense. Romero finds this interesting because in Spanish, Canelo comes off as more humble and relaxed, but when he speaks English, it's like a different side of him comes out, almost like he's more fired up and ready for a fight. Romero then moves on to discuss how this change in Canelo's demeanor might affect his performance in the ring, particularly in his upcoming fight with Edgar Berlanga. He speculates that because Canelo seems more aggressive when he speaks English, this attitude might carry over into the fight, making him more determined to go after Berlanga. Romero jokes that while Berlanga might have had a puncher's chance before, Canelo's increased aggression could make things even more challenging for him. Finally, Romero was asked about his own upcoming fight against a boxer he initially misnamed as Samuel, but later corrects to Manuel. Romero admits that he doesn't know much about his opponent, not even whether he fights in an orthodox or southpaw stance. He brushes off the idea of doing any special preparation, suggesting that he'll just go into the fight and do what he does best, which is aiming for a knockout. This shows Romero's confidence in his ability, regardless of who his opponent is. Berlanga's former trainer Eric Roman describes this fight as a grand opportunity that Berlanga has been working towards his entire life.
I think it's a grand opportunity. I think it's a fight that he worked his entire life for.
Eric Roman talks about Edgar Berlanga's journey as a fighter and his preparation for the upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez. He starts by explaining that Berlanga has gone through some tough times in his career, especially with changing trainers, which made things difficult for him. However, Roman feels that Berlanga is now back on track with his current coach, Mark. He thinks this new partnership is solid and will help Berlanga perform well in the fight. Roman then discusses how people often see Berlanga as just a powerful puncher because of his 16 first-round knockouts, but according to Roman, Berlanga is much more than that. He describes Berlanga as a five-tool fighter, meaning he has a complete set of skills: good footwork, power, speed, boxing intelligence, IQ, and heart. Roman believes that because Berlanga knocked out so many opponents so quickly, he didn't have a chance to show off all these skills. In the fight against Canelo, Roman thinks Berlanga will need to use everything he's got, especially since Canelo is a very experienced fighter. Roman also talks about how those early knockouts might have slowed down Berlanga's development as a boxer. Because the fights ended so quickly, Berlanga didn't get as much experience in the ring as other fighters who go multiple rounds. However, Roman points out that the knockouts also made Berlanga famous, so there were some positives too. Now, with this big fight coming up, Roman thinks Berlanga has a chance to prove to everyone what he's really capable of. Finally, Roman shares his expectations for the fight. He believes that Berlanga has to be aggressive and take the fight to Canelo, instead of trying to outbox him or play it safe. Roman mentions that Berlanga has been working hard on his strength and his legs, which he thinks will help Berlanga push Canelo back and possibly surprise everyone with how the fight unfolds. Roman is confident that if Berlanga starts strong, it could turn out to be a very different fight than what people are expecting. Professional boxer Danny Garcia comments on the exchanges between Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga, particularly focusing on their remarks about ring IQ.
Yeah.
Selling the fight.
Yeah. What you make of Berlanga's IQ claim that he can match?
You know, in boxing, you gotta believe in yourself. You know, if you're not speaking highly of yourself, then what you up there for?
Exactly.
You're supposed to go up there and believe in yourself and talk the best.
Danny Garcia discusses Canelo Alvarez's approach to boxing. He mentions that Canelo is known for his relentless, aggressive style in the ring and doesn't hold back against any opponent. Garcia points out that some people thought Canelo showed mercy or held back in previous fights against certain opponents like Charlo, but he disagrees. According to Garcia, Canelo didn't ease up. Instead, he faced tough opponents who are difficult to defeat because they've never been knocked out or easily beaten before. This, Garcia explains, is what makes getting knockouts at such a high level of competition particularly challenging. Furthermore, Garcia comments on how Caleb Plant unexpectedly got involved in the discussion, highlighting the unpredictable and sometimes chaotic nature of boxing press conferences.
Been knocked down.
Yeah.
So, you know, at that level, it's hard to get stoppages.
Yeah.
So, I feel like he didn't have compassion. He just couldn't stop him.
How did Caleb Plant get into that discussion? He kind of strayed there. Like.
Right. I don't know, man. Boxing's crazy.
Danny Garcia stresses the importance of being mentally and physically prepared for boxing press conferences, which can often become as intense as the fights themselves. He acknowledges that these events are not merely formalities, but can be arenas where real rivalries are ignited or intensified. Garcia suggests that a boxer must always be on guard, ready to handle verbal confrontations or unexpected challenges from other fighters who might use the opportunity to gain a psychological edge. He points out that such dynamics are a part of the sport's drama, where athletes need to maintain composure and readiness, not just in the ring, but also in the public eye during these high-tension gatherings. Moreover, Danny Garcia delves into the mindset of younger boxers like Edgar Berlanga, who step into the ring with established champions without showing traditional deference. He suggests that this boldness is strategic, aimed at asserting their presence and capability in the sport's elite circle. For young fighters, facing a legend isn't just another match, it's an opportunity to disrupt the status quo and announce their potential to the world. Garcia admires this fearless stance, implying that such an attitude is essential for those looking to make a significant impact and climb the ranks quickly. We want to hear from you. Head to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts on the recent event. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated with more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button.